This is different.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video. This is a re-upload because apparently the last video had some technical issues. With it was only in mono, and I don't know why it did that, but it was only in mono, and it would just play. So yeah, this is the re-upload of the Migos X Travis Scott type beat that I'm doing today. So I do apologize for that in advance. But yeah, so if you already seen it, you know, watch it again, thumb it up, you know, support your boy. But, you know, if you have it, then here it is right here. So let me get to this beat today. So this beat was, like I said in my previous video, this is definitely a different type of beat or style for me beat. Because I said I did some interesting things to it. I used some different plugins than I normally use in this video, so I'm gonna go over what I did, some different techniques to kind of get the sound like that. But I wasn't trying to go for that exact Migos Travis Scott type sound. I try to get like in the vibe of kind of an ambient trap sound. Really, that's what I try to go for. That's what I pretty much think I accomplished. But you know, his his own, I guess. So let's start with the first sound, which is a different plugin that I normally use that I don't use much of, but it's a Modular V, which is a Moog modular synth emulation. If you don't know what the Moog modular synth is, it's one of the most famous modular synths of all time. Modular synthesis is definitely a fun thing to get into. I'm actually looking to get into modular synths my damn self because it just looks so much fun being able to patch in cables. It's not like your traditional modular, your additional synthesis, because you got to actually, like I said, route stuff to different points. You can do some crazy, cool, evolving stuff when you're doing that. That's what I like about it. And this plugin is replicating a synth that costs over 13, like not 13, but 35 grand. So it's good they made it in VST form, because that's a brand new car, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, it's good they actually made this in VST form, so anybody can pretty much afford it. But basically what I got going on here, I just got I just have a simple, I think it's a triangle wave going into a square wave being FM. Well, I got a triangle wave being FM by a square wave going to into a filter that's being modulated by LFO, so it's getting this kind of cool sweeping effect. And I have the sequencer going and changing pitch, so I have a sequencer going on too, and it's changing the pitch. So it sounds complicated, but it's a very simple patch. It's nothing crazy. I'll play without the effects so you can hear the original sound, see what it really sounds like. So it sounds like this. But you see, it's just a very basic patch that has nothing crazy going on to it. But once I added in my effects, it really got the sound. So first I added this analog chorus effect that I got from Focusrite for free. If you got a Focusrite interface, I highly suggest go to their website every month because they give out a free plugin. So go there every month and see what they give away. They gave away this one, not this month, but the month before last or last month. So I picked it up because I say I got a Focusrite interface and I get all that free stuff. Then I put it on a reverb, so I gave some space and some liveliness. You know, you want that kind of ambient noise. Half speed it, you know, to kind of just give it that you know, that trap vibe to it. And I use the EQ and I use the high pass, low pass to cut a lot of the highs, a lot of the lows. Really just focus on that mid range. It kind of filter out to give it kind of a spooky, big feel. That's what it sounds like with all the effects on it. You know, it has a big difference from that, you know, boring old crap you heard before. That was like, yeah. Next up, I use the Omnisphere. I know I'm using the Keyscape Wash preset. I'm not gonna bring it because Keyscape is gonna take forever to pull up, but I'm using the Keyscape. Yeah, I'm using the Keyscape. So I had a brain for it, but I'm using the Keyscape Wash preset, and that is you know, very good piano. And I have gross beats on it, and I have Pro R, but I'll play you the sound beforehand so you know what it sounds like before. But here's to show you the pattern so you can see the notes if you want to copy the notes down or whatever. So. You know, it sounds really simple at first. It sounds really simple at first and pretty good, but you know, I said, how can I enhance it, make it sound more dark feeling, more kind of, you know, ambient sounding? So like I said, I put on gross beats, half speed, and I put on Pro R to give it some, you know, liveliness. And Pro R is probably my favorite reverb plugin. I only use this for like when I'm trying to get some really, really good reverb. I'll do a review on it or something like that, go over how to use it, but it's a really good reverb to use. I love it. But then once I put the two effects on there, you get this really dark kind of slow down effect, you know, that you normally hear in a lot of trap stuff. And that just automatically, you know, gives it that nice trap feel. Next up, this sad little lead I made in Icarus. Not really sad lead, but just a little lead I made in Icarus, like I said, from an upcoming Icarus bank that's coming soon. Probably next week, gonna be dropping it. But very dope sound. It's just a simple lead sound, nothing special there. I did put an EQ on it afterward to cut some of the highs, but like I said, it's just a simple little patch. And it's just like a little something to kind of just add some elements to the song, the beat. So yeah, it is the and don't worry about that crackling. That's because I got this on. I'll talk about that later. Next up is the Icarus ARP, another ARP I just made, another ARP I made in Icarus for my upcoming bank. Hopefully this time it will be in stereo. I'm praying. Last time it was in mono. I don't know why, but yeah, just a little ARP I made. I put Pan Man on it, you know, to make it go between left and right stereos field, or channels, whatever you call it, and then I just cut some of the lows out there, just kind of keep it, you know, tamed or whatever. So here's what it sounds like. Very dope sound right there. Next up, and also that's I just copied the pattern from the piano and threw it up in there. So it's nothing crazy with that. Last but not least, I know it's the choir, the default boy choir from Omnisphere. So I ain't gonna bring it up because I said Omnisphere take forever. But that's what I put right there. And I add some filter EQ to kind of roll off some of the highs and lows to give it that kind of choir pad-like feel. So that's why I did that. So I always do that with my choirs. I think it just gives a better sound to it if you roll off the highs and roll off the lows. It just makes them sound more pad-like, and that's what I like. I mean, don't get me wrong, the choir sound is good, but I like that kind of dark, ambient, kind of pad-like choir sound. So. And that's using the same pattern as the ARP and the pianos right there. So, and that pretty much builds the basis of the track right there. Let's take away the lead so you can hear. You know, and that's the basis of it. Now let's get to the drums and stuff like that. So, start with the hi-hats as normal, because, you know, them hi-hats are really what was popping. So, cool little chops, nothing simple there. You know, that's how you're gonna get that bounce for your track with them hi-hats. Then I add in some perks, and they're both pan hard left, not hard left and hard right, but they're both pan left and right with a little bit of reverb on both of them to kind of give them like that that space. And they're both hitting on at a different timing too, so that's gonna give that bounce as well with the hi-hat. So and that's gonna give it that bounce that you want. You know, making stuff off timing and panning it too. Then I added in both snares, which one's a trap snare, regular trap snare there, and then like a more underlined snare to kind of give that sound. So nothing special there, no reverb, nothing like that. A little bit EQ cutting the lows on it, so you get. You know, you start feeling that bounce already. Then once I add in my kick drum, which I think I EQ'd a little bit, yeah, cut out a lot of the lows, cut out some of that mid-range mud, and boosted that fundamental frequency. And you really gotta do this to taste. You can't do it based off what I do. You have to listen to your sample and, you know, boost it and cut it based off your sample, because every sample is different. Excuse me. So. And then last but not least, my 808, my 808 got a little fruity fast distortion and a little EQ. I normally do this about all my 808s. I distort them and then EQ them because that's how you get that sound. Or you can do something else to them, but that's how I like to process my 808s. It just gives it a bigger and more in-your-face sound when you do it that way. You get the head knob. Once you get the head knob, you're on your right way. So that's pretty much everything as far as the sound goes. Now, when it comes to mixing, everything's the same as I mix, but the mastering part is where it really gets interesting, because I added this vinyl strip to really give it some different element to the beat. Now, vinyl strip is probably one of my favorite vinyl plugin type stuff out there. There's a free one out there called Isotope Vinyl, but it doesn't have as many controls as this one. This one has more to it than just the vinyl effect. That's why I like this one over the Isotope one, which I have that too, but I'm not gonna use it because it just has the Isotope was good for you just a straight vinyl effect, but this one does a little more. So what I did too is I added a little bit of compression. I'll actually play each individual sound so you can hear what everything's doing. So now all the processors turned off on it, so no processor. So first I did a compressor on it, because the compressor kind of really, it's gonna give it that bus compressor like tape saturation type compression type feel to it, and that's what I want to go for. Give it like a little bit of, you know, make it tighter sounding and make it a little bit more in your face and more up front. Here it just gets more in your face. Next I use some distortion, and distortion is a great way to actually get a louder signal. If you want a louder signal, you can soft clip it, you can distort it, you can add some saturation, and that will give you a louder signal. But you can't go too far with it, because then you get, you know, digital distortion, which you can't come back from. So I added a little bit of distortion. I added some even harmonics to it. You can add even or odd harmonics. And it makes it a little bit louder and a little bit more, like, gives it a little more bite. So let me play it so you can hear it. So everything just gets a little bit more in your face, a little loud, a little more aggressive, a little more saturated. That's what that does. So distortion can make your stuff louder, and people don't normally do that. Well, a lot of people do that. A lot of professionals do, and it's a technique you should look into. Then I added just a touch of reverb to everything, because it just gives everything like that sense of space. So nothing special there. Very subtle, but it works. The EQ or the tilt is basically you can tilt the EQ either more bass or more treble. More modern music today is more bass heavy, and more older style of music, like, you know, back in the 70s, 60s, and before and all that stuff was more high. So, you know, you can either tilt it either way. So I gave it a little bit more I gave it a little more low end, so nothing special there. And then for the vinyl effect, I added a little bit of wow to it, a little bit of dust, because, you know, I want to give it kind of an aging effect, and that was pretty much it there. Nothing crazy. Didn't do no noise, no record age, and I didn't mess with the stereo either. And that's pretty much it right there. You get easy peasy, simple as fuck right there. And then, like I said, use my Pro L to just max the limited, because I love the the fat filter plugs are just amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much it right there. That's how I pretty much made the beat. I tried some different things and some different techniques, but, you know, you gotta do different stuff to really stand out. You gotta try different stuff, and I'm starting to figure out more of my style in the process as well. That's what I like about doing stuff different than everybody else. So, hope you guys enjoy. Like always, y'all know who it is. It is your boy Slim, a.k.a. Mr. Different. Not motivated by the money, but like, subscribe, and views. I do appreciate everybody out there who's sticking to it. I'm sorry for this re-upload, but, you know, I had to do what I had to do. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoy like always. And guess what? I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.